moral development part with it.
Like how everybody has an emphasis on trends, like who is the best this or who's the most popular that.
Yeah, so popularity trends, you know, having to have new clothes every week, whatever. Those things are not going to make much of a difference. Right? Doesn't mean that you can't do them, just means they're not going to make a difference. And if you're choosing between two things, one that will make a difference and one that won't, you might want to err on the side of the make a difference. So you find yourself playing whatever video game, in my son and husband's case, it was EverQuest, 30 hours a week. You might think you could use that time a little bit more wisely. I helped them see that eventually. After 4 years.
I feel like too much emphasis on competition and doing better than others would just make things worse.
Yeah, so it's really interesting to hear you say that because there's a lot of really good studies that show that that many of us do way better in cooperation than we do in the competition. And yet if you look at the way classes are often set up, they're often set up as competitions. It's way better to collaborate. It's way better to find a group of people where your strengths not are identical, but when they match each other, where you all bring something to the table, or maybe you might have the artist, and you might have the dancer, and you might have the choreographer, and you might have the person who sees a way to illustrate DNA with it. Right? Who can envision choreography of a dance that really helps people understand DNA or whatever. Bring your skills together. Good. Okay. Right. So we have some minutes left, about 25 or so. I have a lot more things to do, but I'm not going to get them all done today. I think what we will do is, okay, so now that you've done this little part of the exercise about what are some things you're good at and that you like to do and that make a difference in the world, you can begin to look at where your circles and your lists overlap and where there are things where you can like them and you're good at them and begin to make a difference already. But what we want to do now is start to expand this. You have 4 years of it, at minimum. Some people will stay longer. How are you going to expand your circles? So your question next is to think about, over your next 4 years, how are you going to find out more things that you're good at? More things that you like to do. More things that make a difference in you. How are you going to do that? What kinds of experiences? What kinds of classes? What kinds of networking things would you want to do to expand your circle? And I'll give you an example. So at the University of Maryland, when I was there from 1965 to 1969, you already heard about some internships and some other things I did to kind of expand my circles, although I'm not sure they were very intentional at the time, but you know, nowadays in hindsight. But my senior year, my very last semester, I took a physical anthropology course that was about the evolution of humans. And it looked at all that we know about the history of human evolution from an anthropological standpoint from that period of time. If I have taken that class as a freshman, I'd have been an anthropologist. No kidding. I enjoyed that class so much. I learned so much out of it that was new, that was so different than what my family thought. Very Catholic. 11 kids, you don't get that from. Right. If I had taken that class my freshman year or my sophomore year, I'd probably be an anthropologist right now. I might be Jane Goodall, right? Although I think she was ahead of me a couple of years. She studied all the chimps, Gandhi, and she's the one that just made that, pushed with many other people at NIH to release most of the chimps from medical research. So that the chimps will now be in protected species in the retirement. Might have been her. And that would have made a big difference. It might have been somebody else. So what kind of things are you going to do to try and help you figure out these things? First of all, I want you to write a list and maybe turn to the second sheet of paper. Some stuff that you might do to expand your circles over the next 4 years. Then I want you to pick one person that you're not sitting with and go talk to them about it. I'll tell you when. 4 minutes to write your list. I'll give you a warning, and then I'm going to make you switch all around. Leave. Yes. So if you read the second page, you'll see that there's actually some instructions and examples there too. You might not have never had a class in art or dance. You might never have had a course in philosophy or anything. How would you know it's different? If you never tried it, you can't tell. If you only tried it once, you can't tell. Sometimes it takes more than one try. If we get 2 working on universal health care. Politicians. Physicians, I don't care who. Let's see, it's Thursday, right? So, Thursday, right? So I want you to go sit next to somebody you haven't talked to this week. Somebody different. You've sat by everybody in this room this week? Well, somebody you're not sitting next to right now, go sit next to them and share some of the things you thought about expanding.
I haven't talked to you this week.
Oh, never. I can't think of anything, so I just like taking like arts or like dance or like music or something like that. This music out. Just trying to
It's got a little adjustment on the side. They move up and down.
Just have my train of thought for what I want to do, try to educate others, because education is the best form of knowledge. Educating others will help you learn about yourself as well.
What do you want to do?
Here? I'm not sure. I really don't know. I think I know what I'm good at, and I know what I like to do, and I have a feeling that I know what I'm doing, but I don't want to say it,
And then
because I like, what I'd like to do is to major in NBB or biology, and like a minor in environmental studies. Because that's something that I really like, and that's what I'm really good at. I like learning, possibly conduct research in alternative fuel sources. What about you? What do you like?
well, I really like working with and I didn't really like it at first, but I've grown to really like it. So I just want to do something that can be with people and like helping them.
So is it you have a specific age group that you like to help?
I'm leaning towards either old people or like children.
Because there's like,
Only for
is it a nursing home or is it